Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Awesemo FanDuel lineup building show presented by Jock Market. I'm going to build 3 FanDuel lineups here. It's tough to build early in the week these days, but we'll give it our best shot. The first couple stacks are going to be the spend up stacks. FanDuel doesn't really have any spend down quarterbacks, but Trey Lance, if he starts, will be a pretty nice option there. Let's start with Mahomes. I think every week he's definitely one of the guys that is going to be likely to end up winning your slate, and the Bengals should be able to put up enough points here to keep this one interesting. So I think with Mahomes, you probably want Hill or Kelsey. Looks like Hill is showing up as a better play here. So on the other hand, Kelsey's a lot lower owned. It looks like tight end is tough to fill this week. So let's go with Kelsey. And then you could get in Pringle or you could get in a running back. We just don't know who's going to be in at running back this week. Jock MKT is possibly going to play if Clyde Edwards-Helaire is ruled out. And then run back options are great. T. Higgins, Jamar Chase are both fantastic. I'll go with Chase just to save a little bit of ownership because this is the chalk stack. All right. At running back, I want to get in a value play since my stack's kind of pricey. At the Jets, Michael Carter with no Tevin Coleman. Potentially more goal line carries if they do get touchdowns, but also receives a lot of passes. And then let's put in a wide receiver now. Antonio Brown should be a great play this week. The only question, he did tweak his ankle today, so hopefully he'll be back at practice tomorrow. That's definitely stats to keep an eye on. And then value play at receiver I'm really on this week is DJ Moore with Sam Darnold starting this one and presumably playing most of the game, if not all of it. DJ Moore should be getting more passing attempts his way. And then at defense, put in a defense so that we know what we're working with here. I actually don't mind putting in the Panthers defense. Facing Taysom Hill, he's pretty error prone. And wide receiver defense, it's not really a factor one way or the other for me. All right. At running back, we need to circle back, get one more. Got some money, so Sony Michel, I think, is a really good option. Darrell Henderson's out, and Cam Akers isn't expected to be back this week. Ooh, I don't have enough money to really make this lineup work, so I might have to switch off Antonio Brown and go to someone cheaper. DK Metcalf is a reasonable option. Matchup versus the Lions is prime, so I think that makes a lot of sense. And then 6,300, I can get in Jacoby Myers. Ideally, I'd want to spend this rest of my money, but it's okay. All right, so my lineup ended up being pretty chalky, but more contrarian than 20 to 30%. Given I picked a chalk spend up stack, that's not bad. All right, second lineup, Prescott and the Cowboys. I think that good matchup versus the Cardinals and stacking up a couple of the receivers, Lamb, Cooper, Schultz. Schultz does seem to be really low owned this week, so I'm definitely feeling him. And then on the other side, Christian Kirk is kind of the popular option. Could go double tight end, get some Ertz, but tight end is kind of rough this week, so I don't know if I'll really want to go for that. And then James Conner is questionable, so if he's out, Chase Edmonds would be a great option. But I'll go with AJ Green just because he's kind of low owned and this stack is pretty popular. All right, let's go back to running back. Maybe this could be a Jonathan Taylor lineup. He's tough to fade, and they got a great matchup. The only question is, can I make the salaries work? So I'll have to get in a value play. I do really like Michael Carter significantly more than Jared Patterson because I feel Patterson is kind of in a committee with Jonathan Williams or Carter. Tevin Coleman being out, maybe Austin Walter gets back in there, but that's just one guy, last guy you got to worry about. All right, at wide receiver, Michael Pittman. Probably won't want him in this lineup because I already have Jonathan Taylor. Mike Williams, he's, I mean, a really low-owned play this week versus the Broncos, and I don't see any reason he should be that low-owned. So let's put him in there. And then let's put in the Dolphins defense versus Tennessee. This game should be a little bit lower scoring. And in the flex, we got 8K. That's a pretty good amount. DeAndre Swift is another contrarian play that we can work on this week. I think that he is kind of getting hyped up with the coaching staff, so he should be back to normal. And that volatility kind of helps you because the ownership's low. As I will mention, our sponsor Jock Market, you can kind of invest in these players. So like DeAndre Swift, if he plays in the #1 spot in fantasy scoring this week, he'd get you $25 if you bought a share of Swift on Jock Market. And then if you get second, you get 20, I believe, and then so on. We have him averaging out to $4.70 in our sims. So we have our projections for Jock Market on the site. If you can invest in him below that amount, you're going to make money in the long run. So Jock Market is fun. You can make it profitable, and the promo code Awesemo gets you $50 free match deposit bonus. So check out Jock Market. All right, this lineup, I got a little bit lower projection, but higher contrarian ranking. So there's always a trade-off there. Pretty solid. I think once we get a little bit more clarity about who's in and who's out this week, we can make our lives even that extra bit better. All right, Mac Jones. The weather in New England actually this week is supposed to be good. It's supposed to be in the 50s and not windy at all. So a little bit sneaky New England in like January. I was not expecting that. And the one question here is the passing volume, where they're huge favorites versus Jacksonville, 29 points. Probably going to do it running, but they could definitely do it passing. Jacoby Myers is your safest bet, and then I don't mind throwing in Aguilar, Bourne, or Henry. Probably don't want a running back because they don't receive a lot of passes other than Bolden. Let's go with Aguilar. He's coming off the COVID list, so maybe Bourne's safer. Anyway, you guys can play around with that. I have very low ownership, so I can go with some chalky options. David Montgomery versus the Giants, that one's obvious. Sony Michel versus Baltimore with a bigger workload than normal. We could even throw in Antonio Brown, who's kind of chalky at receiver, but I'm making up for this with the stack just being really low owned. And then maybe a tight end. We go with Pitts. He's a little bit lower owned this week, and in a spot where Atlanta's going to have to pass a lot. And let's go with the Rams defense, get that little correlation with Sony Michel. We got 9,300 left. That is a pretty tricky amount to spend, but we got Austin Eckler versus the Broncos, big favorites. Another guy coming off the COVID list, but I'm not going to worry about that too much unless we get some word that these guys are still recovering. Really contrarian, value ranking over 90%. That means our projection is higher than 90% of the field that we're projecting. And guys, all this info is on the Awesemo.com boom bust, and this is the lineup builder on our site too, so make sure to check this out. What do you think of these lineups? If you guys could hit the like button and comment, appreciate that. And make sure to check out our sponsor, Jock Market, $50 free match deposit bonus. So it's profitable and fun. All right, guys, good luck this week.